Reds, and welcome back to Gas Fan TV, the channel that keeps you locked in with all things Bristol Rovers. I hate the international break! I am so happy that football is back. Obviously, League One did go ahead last Saturday, 2 games, and actually, to be fair, they produced 2 absolute bangers. A 5-3 and a 3-3 draw. So 14 goals scored in 2 games. I mean, that is nuts. But I'm buzzing that the mighty Gas are back. I'm speaking to you kind of after a kind of mixed bag. We go and get a really good second half performance away at Burton. 3-1 win. Grant Ward came on at half-time, pretty much came on at 50 minutes, and absolutely changed the game. He came away with 2 assists and 1 goal. I mean, what a performance that is. Shaq Ford as well, played really, really well. A nicely taken finish. It was a bit of a scuff, but look, it hit the back of the net for his first Gas goal. And Clinton Mola, block it off the left boot. Contrasting game, because that first half, it was very much, here we go again. I mean, at some points in that first half, it was laughable. We looked absolutely horrendous. Matt Taylor must have said something at half-time that really rallied them up, because that second half, it was an onslaught, essentially. Burton had chances as well, let's not lie, but we were brilliant going forward, and 3 nicely taken goals, and a good team performance. So you'd think that we build up some momentum there. You know, we beat Charlton at home, and then we beat Burton away to go into the Mickey Mouse Cup, to play a weakened side and a team that's struggling in League 2, right? And we think, oh, we're going to batter them. Wrong. We lost 4-0. First things to say, right? Who cares? Because no one cares about the Mickey Mouse Cup. But Matt Taylor made 9 changes, and he played a weakened side, our second string team, our reserves, or whatever you want to call them. But don't let that fool you that there were some experienced pros on that pitch. And we lost to Swindon Town, who were right down near the bottom in League 2. They battered us 4-0. It was the performance I was annoyed with, because we honestly just didn't look like we were going to score at any point. There was no pride for the shirt. Taylor Moore said that this is on us. And as much as people want to say, oh, it's the manager's fault, actually, for this game alone, he made the changes that everybody wanted to see anyway. He rested players that people wanted to see rested. And it was kind of a bit of a wake-up call to see the gap to the first team and who's trying to get into the first team. It was worrying, to say the least. I mean, we looked miles off it. I mean, we looked poor. Like, really poor. This whole bloody LT thing as well was doing my nutting. He got 12 goal contributions in the league last season, 16 in all competitions, playing in that right wing spot. And yet Matt Taylor insists as playing him as a right wing back. And I see fans moaning about, oh, well, LT needs to do more. How is he meant to do more when he's playing out of position? Put him in his actual position, in the front 3 maybe, and he will flourish. We've seen it before. But Matt Taylor's insisting on playing him as a right wing back, or he doesn't play at all. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And if I had a criticism for Matt Taylor, it would be his stubbornness to move away from what he's set in his brain. Quite clearly, LT needs to play further forward. He did last season, and he played well. So I don't know why he's having this concrete kind of opinion that he needs to play as a right wing back. It makes no sense. He needs to break that mould and put LT back where he needs to and wants to play, and should be playing. Anyway, we look forward now to the weekend. Huddersfield away. Now, we haven't played the Terriers for a very, very, very long time. 13 years, to be exact. And this is our match preview for that game. So, as always, I have a very, 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 very knowledgeable fan with me today, Ryan. And he's going to help to talk us through that game in a little bit more depth. Ryan, mate, we always start off with the same question on the channel. Talk me through your summer transfer window, because you took my favourite player, or one of my favourite players, Evo. And I was absolutely gutted when he left. He's gone on to you, deservedly as well. He deserves to be up the food chain. I'll pass the reins over to you, and you talk me through your summer transfer window in your opinion.
I think our summer transfer window was really good, but should have been so much better. It was pretty evident that we was going for a really prolific, goal scorer, striker that we've needed for ages now, and we missed out on our top 2 targets in Alfie May and Joe Taylor. But the signs we did make, I think they've been, I think I like the direction of the signings, proven experienced players at this level, likes of Lasse Sorensen from Lincoln and Miller from Plymouth. Evans, as you all know, around those parts. Sorry to remind you about that, but yeah, we have obviously signed him. Herbie Kane, again, who was at Barnsley, full of experience. A few loans as well in there. Longvik brings experience from his time at Plymouth, where he won the league title there the season before last. Centre back, of course. Or inexperienced, Callum Marshall joined from West Ham on loan with next to nothing experience in senior football over the new. He scored a lot of goals in the youth setup, but only at 19 years of age, still has shown some really good moments for us. So I've liked him, and he's already scored a few goals already for us. So he is a real threat for us, absolutely. To make matters even worse, after the window had shut, we'd gone out and panic buyed and brought in Freddie Ladapo, who, for me, people will know him from his time, in the EFL. Obviously, probably in his prime was when he was at Rotherham. But at 31 years of age, I think it was nothing more than a panic buy because we missed out on the big strike that we needed to bring in the summer. So, yeah, not impressed with him so far, and I had doubts when he came in as well. I thought it was a really strange signing to me, other than just to try and appease the fans. And that just goes back to the board situation. There's a lot of unrest within the board at the moment. I think the owner is really being naive. I've seen an American businessman who took over from Dean Hoyle at the start of last season officially, and obviously his naivety and employing people in the boardroom, like the sporting director and the CEO. The sporting director, obviously really being in control of the transfer side of things, has just been absolutely woeful for us. Mark Cartwright, bad decision after bad decision, and he was the same at Stoke. He ruined Stoke as well for years. It took him years to recover Stoke. So look, there's a lot of discontent at the moment within the fan base about the board too, so things have to change. We need a change in the boardroom, simple as that. Because like I said, last season, the reason we got relegated last season was because of the fact that the decision making was so bad, chopping and changing managers, getting rid of managers when it took far too long to make a decision. Just all those things, recruitment poor. Kind of gone off on a tangent there, apologies. Outgoings should have offloaded more in my opinion to get better quality in, so the outgoings wasn't great either, so not impressed by that.
Mate, that's fine, you ramble. I don't mind. I like a rambler. It shows that you're passionate about your club. Listen, we spoke about Evo. I was gutted to lose him, but it was expected. What I was annoyed about was the transfer fee. I felt like we got robbed a little with the transfer fee. I was thinking he was going to be hitting kind of Aaron Collins numbers of 700, 750k. I know obviously he had less years on his contract left, but I just felt you underpaid a bit. But listen, that's an argument for another day. Callum Marshall, I think he's an absolute player. I was really hopeful that we would go for him on loan as well at the Gas, because we need a prolific goal scorer. He's probably a bit too good for us, let's be honest, but that youth academy record is an absolute joke. And I think you're a bit harsh on Freddie Ladapo, mate, because I actually think he's criminally underrated. He does a lot to bring other players into play. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest goal scoring record, but when he's on it, my God, is he a handful. Interestingly, another player that I wouldn't have minded on a free for us. Anyway, we move on. Talk to me about your start to the season, because for a while, it was looking absolutely sensational. Like I was thinking, hang on, these boys are serious. And then it kind of went downhill. It split evenly. 10 games played, 5 wins, 5 losses. Actually, interestingly, 5 losses is exactly the same as the Gas. So when you look at it like that, it doesn't sound great.
Our start of the season's been very mixed, to be honest with you. I would say overall, very disappointing with where we are in the league at the moment. 9th place, not where we wanted to be at this point of the season. I think we started the season good, especially the opening day against Peterborough. I thought if this is the sign of what's to come in terms of performance and obviously winning that game as well, I thought we were in for a treat this season. But the games that followed wasn't convincing. We beat the likes of Shrewsbury and Stevenage, but we were lucky to win those games. Had they ever had more quality in the final third, we would have lost those games. Some of the home games most recently, like Northampton and Blackpool, both lost those games, and it was just a shambles really, the performances. And that obviously saw us go on a run We're losing 5 out of the last 6 before we beat Barnsley before the international break, which was a much needed, desperate 3 points. A few injuries lately to key players as well, which haven't helped things. Mikael Helik, one of our centre backs, a big player for us, is out for 8 to 10 weeks. So that hasn't helped the cause. Josh Koroma, again, a player that I really like, but again, he's injured. Meant to be out for at least a few weeks. Nichols, our main goalkeeper, has also got injured, so he's out for 10 weeks as well. So a lot of injuries at the moment.
Yeah, listen, I mean, back-to-back wins. Barnsley twice at home, both 2-0. So back-to-back wins against Barnsley. 4 goals scored in those 2 games, 2 clean sheets. You might be getting your stride back a little bit now. It's going to happen, isn't it, throughout the season? Like the strength of the league, there are going to be blips. Danger man for you. Who is going to be a problem? Now, for me, it would be Callum Marshall. I'm a bit petrified, actually, of him on the weekend. But this is your opinion, so I'll let you answer the question. Who's your danger man for you?
I would say Ben Wiles, to be honest with you, in terms of, what he's produced. Ben Wiles is the second highest goal scorer with 4 goals to his name. But I really like our wing-back, Mikael Miller, as well. He's got everything, composure on the ball and gets forward and gets some fantastic deliveries in the penalty area and good defensively as well. So he's got the all-round game. It's just about whether he can keep fit, but at the moment he's managing just about.
Yeah, Ben Wiles, very, very, very good player. 4 goals, 2 assists this season. I think actually a little bit underrated. I think he kind of goes as a bit of a player that you don't actually think is going to cause that many problems, and then bang, a moment of magic. So yeah, we need to be aware of him for sure. I'll flip the question then. Danger man at the gas. Who is a player that you are a little bit nervous about facing this Saturday?
Danger man for Bristol Rovers, I think it has to be Scott Sinclair. I think he's certainly someone who will cause many problems for our defence, full of experience. I know obviously he's at the latter stage of his career now, you could say so, but he's still got a lot of quality and he still knows what the back of the net is. So I think he's going to be a pain for us.
Oh, you've gone for the skipper. Interesting. I'm actually quite happy you did that, to be honest, because he's got 2 goals in 3 games. Ever since he's come back into the starting 11, genuinely, we've looked better. So I'm actually really happy you've said that. For me, it would be Shaq Ford all day. That goal on the weekend, or I say on the weekend, but a couple of weeks ago against Burton, I think now cements him as a starter. I think as well, his partnership with Promise, if fit, could be quite interesting to watch. So Shaq Ford would be my danger man for this game. Right then, we'll go for the big one, the big question. Match prediction and goal scorers. I'm going to let you go first. Should I? Yeah, why not? I'll let you go first, and then I'll give you my opinion.
My score prediction for the game is a 2-0 win for us. I just think that we are at home, and I think that I'm just hoping that we can get the win. I think, a clean sheet as well. So, although it's not going to be as comfortable as what maybe that scoreline suggests, I think it might be tight for the most of the game, but we'll just have just a little bit too much for you guys. But I expect a tough game. I absolutely expect a tough game. And we don't take anybody for granted in this league, absolutely not. My goal scorers, I think Callum Marshall, I think we'll get on the score sheet, our young forward on loan from West Ham. And Ben Wiles, I think Ben Wiles will get another goal. So yeah, that's it from me. But thanks for having me on. Best of luck for the rest of the season. And may the best team win.
Whoa, another 2-0 victory. At home as well. That's a bit worrying, actually. I think Marshall is going to cause us some problems, for sure. Wiles as well. But I'm going to have to predict that we continue our good run of form. I am normally annoyingly optimistic, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Shaq Ford will score for us. And there's absolutely no doubt in my brain who's going to score for you. And that's going to be Anthony Evans. I don't think he'll celebrate. It always happens. It always happens. Collins scored against us last season. Bowden always scores against us. You've got Matty Taylor. Players who leave us, when they come back to play against us, they always score against us. And I don't see it being any different this weekend. I just hope Evo doesn't celebrate. Well, listen, there we have it. Thank you so much, mate, for coming on. Again, really knowledgeable. I love the passion. I can see you actually really feeling what you're saying. So I love that. Listen, your socials have been on the screen the entire time. I'll make sure people hit you up and give you a like and a follow. As far as me, you know where to find me. Gas Fan TV or Joshua Hemmings on TikTok and X or whatever. Let me know in the comments below. Are you feeling hopeful? Are we going to lose? What is your prediction? Leave your goal scorers. Share it, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. And as always, up the gas.